Hey everyone. I'm going to give it just a minute to get some more people to hop on, but I am excited to see so many people on this morning. I know that it's early for a lot of you, especially on the West Coast. So thank you guys so much for being on. Like I said, I'm going to give it just a minute to allow some other people. So if you want to remind any team members or anything like that, feel free to do that at this time. All right, so just make sure that we are muting once we hop on. I just realized my name says Emmett Slone. He must have used my Zoom account for a training. So I'm Gianina, for those of you guys that don't know me. All right, let's see if Tiffany is on too. Yay, I see Tiffany. Perfect.
All the people that don't know her,
he's been like all up in all my videos lately. What's up, Kingston?
and also
Real life.
any of the other people that don't know her, Emmett Sloane's her husband.
Yes, that is my husband. Okay. So I am super excited to get this call started. I am actually going to hand it over to Tiffany for just a minute to talk a little bit about some of the mindset stuff that she shared on a call on Sunday, because I thought it was so good as we go into setting our goals for the month, because I don't want anybody to go into this month with like a defeated mindset or thinking, well, this didn't work in the past, or what am I doing? I'm not good at this, because those are all lies. We all tell ourselves at some point. All of us have felt unworthy. All of us have felt that way. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Tiffany, and then we'll go ahead and get started with all of our action steps.
Hey guys, how are you all? I obviously wasn't planning on getting on a call, so I'm looking a little bit like a hot mess, but it's okay. We're just going to roll with it because that's not the point, right? Okay, so I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit. We have an accountability group going right now, and we had just talked about this the other day. I don't know about you guys, but there are times in my business where I have felt majorly defeated. Have you guys ever felt majorly defeated in your business, or felt like, well, this isn't going to be any different. This month's not going to be any different. Last month was terrible. No one joined me. I didn't earn the thing, whatever the thing is, 369. I didn't earn anything. All those things, right? Our brain is always looking for past experiences to tell us how things are going to be. And sometimes our brain lies to us. So if you guys have ever had those thoughts of like, well, it didn't work last time. They didn't want to join me last time, all of those things. So it's not going to work this time. That's just your brain pulling from that little filing cabinet to say, what was our experience before? But here's what I want you guys to know. Network marketing is basically, it goes against the grain in almost every single aspect. And here's what I mean by that. Your business change in a day, in a week, in a month. I've seen it happen in my own business where it felt like hopeless. It felt like I've already done the things, nothing's working, but your business can turn in a heartbeat. But if you go into a month feeling defeated, feeling like I can't do this, all those thoughts that I just talked about, then that's the result that you're going to get. and this is going to be kind of like a super short little snippet that I'm going to talk to you guys. So I'm not going to dive into it like I did on our accountability call. But if you've never heard of CTFAR, I would really encourage you guys to Google that and start practicing it in your life. But essentially, the basis for CTFAR, it's circumstance, thought, feeling, action, and result. CTFAR. You can Google all kinds of things about it and find stuff. I did not invent it. It's brilliant. But basically, it says that we can change our thoughts, which changes our actions, feelings, which changes the results in our business. How many times have you guys felt like, I've done this with myself, right? There's been times in my business where I've shown up defeated. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe anything was possible for me. And yet I wanted people to join me who were passionate and excited and believed in network marketing and believed in the process. And the reality is that's just not going to happen. We are going to attract what we put out. And so you can change your thoughts and have a completely different business. You really, really can. I remember one of the biggest shifts I ever made in my business was I started showing up like I was already a jewel, like I was already a diamond. Because if you ever tell yourself, well, when I'm able to leave my job because of Plexus, then I will do fill in the blank. You will not do fill in the blank. The person you are now, the business you have now, is what you'll do as a jewel and as a diamond. And if I'm being real, you got to already have those habits before you get there. So if you say, I'll do my IPA consistently whenever I leave my job, or I'll make those goals and I'll reach them, or I'll do those coaching calls, or I'll do whatever when I'm a jewel or a diamond or whatever, you will not do those things then. Do them now. Start now, and don't do it based on where your points are at or what's going on in your business. Your excitement needs to be based on what's going to happen. Okay. So as you're setting these goals this month, be bold in it. Don't be afraid to set big goals and have this dream and get excited based on where you're going. One of the biggest shifts I ever made in my business was I stopped looking at where I was at to determine my excitement and my worth, and started looking at where I was going. So if your points ended last month lower than you wanted, or you didn't enroll the people or whatever, that's okay. Start looking at where you're going and get excited about that. Get excited about what you're going to do. You can have someone join you this month that's a future diamond on your team, and it can change everything. There was one month in my business where I signed a couple of people that completely changed everything about my business, and they're my rock star leaders on my team. Okay. Your month can literally change. Your business can change on a dime if you just believe in that, and you believe in yourself, and you take hold of your mindset, because that really is it. And let me tell you, I'm sitting here as a diamond who's missed a lot of goals. Okay. I've missed a lot of things. There's trips I haven't earned. There's prizes I haven't earned. There's all sorts of things. And it sucks and it's hard, but missing goals doesn't mean you shouldn't set goals the next month. It doesn't mean you shouldn't keep going and get excited, because let me tell you all, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like we're about to enter into a really big time in our businesses. Does anyone else feel that? Like, I don't really have a concrete reason why I feel that. Maybe it's because phase 2 is going to be coming soon. I just feel like we're about to enter into this whole new era with our businesses. And I'm so dang excited, because I just feel this like stirring, like something's going to happen. Yes, everybody else feels it too. There's just something. I keep telling my team, I'm like, September and October, not to throw away August, because August is going to lead into that. But for some reason, those 2 months are standing out to me like something big is going to happen for a lot of our businesses. But I want you guys to go into that believing that, okay? Because if you don't believe it, your team won't believe it, and your potentials won't believe it, and your network won't believe it. I had people who joined me who were like, I just saw some shift in you. You were just all excited on Facebook and something happened. And now I can tell them, as people who are leaders on my team, like, my points sucked at the time. My points were awful. I'd lost my rank, but they didn't know that. They just saw this excitement in me and they were like, hey, something's different. Tiffany's doing something. I think I want to be a part of that. And they didn't even know what they were joining. And my points were terrible. My points were awful at the time, or I had just not earned something or whatever, but they didn't know that. They just knew how I showed up. Okay. So show up excited, show up like you're already a jewel, show up like you're already emerald, and that will make it happen. You got to start doing that now. Let me see. Gianina, are you ready for me to pass it back to you?
Yes, thank you so much, Tiffany. And honestly, you look so cute for like not even knowing you were going to be on a call. So, and that was perfect timing. I had actually reached out to Tiffany super last minute because I had somebody ready to enroll and I did not. You know how it is when you've been talking to somebody for months, probably over a year actually, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to join. You're like, I need to get on this right now. So I just enrolled my first ambassador of the month, super excited. So thank you, Tiffany, for doing that so that I can get that taken care of. Honestly, my very first thing that I was going to talk about, which I thought was so cool that you chatted about it as well, is about getting excited, because your team is very, very, very rarely going to get more excited than you. They are going to match where you're at, or if you're here, they're going to be here as far as their excitement level. Unless you're a leader that just doesn't show up, your team will very rarely get more excited than you are. So speed of the leader, speed of the team, it really is up to you to set what the theme for the month is going to be, set what the mindset for the month is going to be. And I have people who they're like, man, my team isn't motivated. I don't know what to do. I can't get anybody to post. And then I'll look at their Facebook. They haven't posted. They're not reaching out to people. They're not engaging with their team. And it's like, well, if you're not doing the things, you can't expect your team to do the things. So that includes your mindset. If you don't have a strong and expectant mindset for the month, then your team isn't going to have a strong and expectant mindset for the month. So it took me 6 years, you guys, to learn how to set goals for my team. I've always been good about setting goals for myself, but learning how to set goals for my team was something that was kind of looked like, I want to add 200 people this month. Woohoo, let's do it, guys. Everybody, we're going to add 200 people. And it was kind of just like throwing darts aimlessly. You guys heard me say that analogy if you're in our accountability group, but it really felt like, okay, I'm just going to pull this number out of thin air. This is what I want to do this month. This is what I'm going to push for my team to do. And most of the time, we either don't come anywhere close to that, or if we come anywhere close to that, it's all because of luck, not because we actually knew what we were doing. And so like Tiffany said, there are going to be months that completely just blow you away. Like you have no idea where these enrollments came from. But for the most part, as far as like consistent behavior that is good for the longevity of your team, you are going to, sorry, I just had kids run around me. I get super distracted sometimes. For you to have like consistent growth, you're gonna need to know, where are my enrollments gonna come from? Where are my team enrollments gonna come from? Who's working for what? You are gonna have those like random months where you just blow up. Like it's gonna happen. You're gonna have those months where you get none. But if you want that like consistent effort and consistent growth, then you're gonna have to know how to set goals for your team. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to look at our own personal goals. And what I want y'all to look at is what incentives are happening this month. So put a 1 in the chat if you know what the incentives are this month, because that is a big key when setting your goals and also setting your team goals. So I want to see who all knows. Okay, so it looks like most people know what the incentives are this month. Good, that's a good start. And the reason I say that's important is because so many times I'll get somebody who's like, oh, my goal is to enroll 5 this month. And it's like, okay, well, do you know what the incentive is? Because you might as well go for 6. If you're going to enroll 5, you might as well have a goal of going for 6. And so knowing what the incentives are and what your personal goal is. And you guys, it's okay to have a goal of enrolling 9 if that's something that is attainable for you. If you have not enrolled anybody in the last 3 months, it may be a little bit of an unattainable goal for you to be like, I'm going to enroll 9 people this month. And I don't want you to get discouraged. I genuinely used to think that when you had these like unrealistic goals that were just these massive goals, I used to think that that was strength, because I was like, oh, it's just me having faith and me believing for something that I can't do, and me believing for something bigger than myself. And you guys, that in some months may work, but it's not faith, you guys. It's foolishness sometimes to be like, oh, I haven't enrolled anybody in a year, let's enroll 9 people this month. It could happen, okay, it could, but you want to set realistic goals for yourself so that you're not hating yourself at the end of the month if you didn't achieve your goal. And kind of going alongside of that, it's okay not to achieve your goals. It's okay not to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. You know, there was probably 2 years ago, not this past July, but the July before, I did a crazy, insane push to Emerald with my team. I was not even holding Ruby points. Was I holding Ruby points? I don't even think I was holding Ruby points. I think I was somewhere around like 450, like below Ruby points. And I was like, we're going to push for Emerald this month. It's the last month to earn the Emerald Extravaganza. We're going to do this. And my team knows we got together every single morning. We did our IPA. We got together in the evenings. Everybody worked so hard that month. And I did not hit Emerald, but you guys, we worked hard until the last day of the month, because hang on one second, I'm about to lose it on some children. Hang on. All right, real mom life moment. Like, they've been angels and saints all morning, and I get on a call and they're literally running circles, screaming around me. I don't know if you guys could hear them. Okay, anyways, so the last day of the month, we were still working hard like it was possible. At that point, I was not anywhere near Emerald. I would have needed like maybe 750 points. I was maybe around Senior Ruby. In order to rank Emerald, but we worked the entire time until midnight Eastern like it was possible, because number one, I wanted to show my team what it meant to work hard the whole month, even when it doesn't look like you're going to hit your goals. And number two, I wanted to show them that it's okay to fail even when you're working hard for something. And number three, I knew, like, what's the worst that can happen if we're hustling? I think we ended up increasing our points as a team by over 200% from the previous month. Like, that's huge. And ever since then, I feel like my team just had a different vibe. Like, we just encouraged each other and worked hard. And you guys, the month that I did hit Emerald was April of the next year. And that 28th of the month, I remember saying to Emmett, which is now my husband, was not my husband at the time. I remember saying to him, like, I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that we're going to hit Emerald this month. I still feel like I'm so far away. But because I knew how to keep pushing past that block, because there's a wall that comes when you're like, okay, I don't think I'm going to hit that goal. There's this wall that comes. And what makes you a leader and a jewel is what you do once you hit that wall. Like, do you know how to get past that block? And if you don't, you're always going to stop short. You're always going to stop short of achieving what you can. But I was determined, okay, we're going to just keep working. And I ended up that month hitting over 1,800 points. I think I ranked Emerald like the next day or something crazy. Like, it was so crazy. It was like, I don't think I'm going to hit the goal. And the next day we hit Emerald, and I still had like 3 days left in the month, and our team just exploded. So don't be afraid of working hard when it doesn't look like you're going to hit your goal. All right. So I want you guys, does everybody have their own personal goals written down based on the incentives this month? Do you guys have your own personal goals written down? Awesome. Okay. So the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you guys to look at your level ones and write down who you are committed to helping get to their next rank. So whether that's silver, senior silver, gold, who are you committed to helping get to the next rank? Only your level ones. I don't want you guys looking at anybody else on your team yet. And I want you guys to think about who is excited about their products, who's loving their products, who's having good results, who is somebody who's like, oh, I think my sister could use this, or whatever conversations you've had with them. And this is why customer care is so important, because they're more likely to be excited about their products if you've followed up with them and you have made them fall in love with those products. So I want you guys to spend the next 10 minutes looking at your level ones and reaching out to the people that you're committed to getting to silver. And what I don't want you to say is, hey girl, I'm gonna make you go silver this month. What I want you to say is, you know what, I know that you've been loving your products. I know that you have maybe just started, but you have some really big goals. So I wanna help you get these products covered. I wanna help you get an accountability partner to do this with you. And then send them the graphic of how much they can make in referral bonuses. If you don't have the graphic, I know it's in like the mastermind chat. You can ask your upline to send it to you, and I'm sure that they'd be happy to. So I'm setting my timer for 10 minutes, and we're going to be reaching out specifically to those level ones. And if you're comfortable, once you know how many people you're going to get to silver out of your level ones, say you're going to get 3 people, you're going to get them to silver, so that's going to be 9 people. I want you to take that number and I want it to add it to your personal enrollment number and put that goal in the chat so that I can see your guys's. All right, so see y'all in 10 minutes. And if y'all have questions about this, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know, and I'd be happy to answer. All right, so my timer just went off. I am seeing some awesome goals, 19 and 23. Those are really, really good goals, you guys. And I know sometimes we have the temptation to be like, oh, we're gonna add 100 people, but this is how it starts, is knowing how many you're gonna enroll and how many your team, your level one specifically that you're gonna help develop are gonna enroll. All right, so now for the next 10 minutes, what I want you guys to do is we're going to get with our level one leaders. So not necessarily people that we're committed to helping rank up, but our level one leaders, or say your level one isn't really interactive and your level two is more of a leader, go to your level two. We're gonna have them do the exact same thing. So you're gonna ask those leaders, you're gonna say, what are your personal enrollment goals for the month based on this month's incentives? And who on your level ones are you going to help rank up? So you're gonna ask them that question. And then I want you guys to, it might take them a little bit to get back to you, but I want you to at least start that conversation. So we're gonna spend just 10 minutes doing that. And if you guys have any questions, let me know.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to say hi and interrupt for just one moment. And I just wanted to pray over your guys' August. Is that okay? Um, God, we come to you today. We thank you for this wonderful group of women and men. And we thank you for everything that you've done for us so far. Lord God, we know that July was a little slow, but we just pray that you put your hand on August and that everything that they do throughout this month, they would do it with passion. They would regain their passion with the business. They would regain their passion with loving on others, and that others could see their joy in their life throughout August. We ask all these things in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. I love you guys. August is going to be yours. August is going to be yours.
Also, one thing I just want to add real quick is as you're doing this, you're going to have people that are responding to you. My recommendation is always not to read the messages until you've completed your reach outs, like reaching out to all your leaders, because you can always read messages and respond to messages throughout the day, but it takes more intentional focus to go down your list. So just a little piece of advice while we're doing this. All right, so my timer just went off. Okay, so the next thing that we're more so gonna talk about than do, we're kind of done with like the action part of it. I want you guys to encourage those level one leaders that you just reached out to do the exact same thing that you did. This is how duplication happens. So circle back around with those people and just say, hey, while I'm at it, can you also reach out to your level one leaders and find out what their personal enrollment goal is, as well as what their who they're going to help develop in their level ones. So when you do that, you're going to get through your levels 1 through 3. And that's really important because that's how, like I said, duplication happens. And in the past, I know I've been guilty of just going to my level ones, finding out their goals, their level twos, my level threes, my level fours, like all the way down. And when you grow, that gets very difficult to do with everybody, and you're going to burn yourself out. And like Tiffany said, the actions that you are doing now as a silver, gold, ruby ambassador are the exact same things that you're going to be doing as an emerald, unless you retrain yourself. You don't like magically learn all the things just because you're an emerald, or even if you're a ruby, you know that you're doing the same things as a ruby that you did as a silver, unless you have learned and grown. And so I want you guys to try getting into that habit now, so that you're not burning yourself out as you rank and as you grow, because that gets very difficult. So by the end of day today, what I want you guys to do is to write down your personal enrollment goal in your planner, or if you have a phone, what I would recommend doing is creating like a screensaver with your goals and saving it that way, something that's always going to be in front of your face. So you're going to write down your personal enrollment goal. You're going to write down your team enrollment goal based on the conversations you've had with your people and what your team sends you. And then I want you to take your level one leaders and I want you to write down their specific goals for the month, because it's not just a way for you to like hold them accountable, but they have to be writing their goals down too, not just you. It's not just like to hold them accountable, but it's to cheer them on, to be praying for them, to be encouraging them, to be doing check-ins with them. It's not like a, hey, you have a goal of enrolling 3 people, you haven't enrolled anyone, what's wrong with you? It's not like that. It's more of a, oh my gosh, there's still so much time in the month. I know that this is something that's possible for you. What can we do to maybe troubleshoot if you haven't enrolled anyone yet? And kind of going along with that, use the resources that are available to you. Like, for example, say you have a level 1 that their goal is to enroll 3 people and they have not enrolled anyone. I would come to that person and I would say, okay, so we haven't enrolled anyone so far this month. What have you been doing, so that we can see how we can troubleshoot where you're at? And so, say they're like, well, I'm sending out messages and I'm trying to get people to try a sample and they're just not interested. Okay, so then what I would say is, well, it sounds like we maybe need to tweak that a little bit. So let's look at your messages. Maybe a sample isn't best for them. Maybe we need to try to get people on the 3-day challenge packs. And this is what I mean by not reinventing the wheel. If you are on this call, that means you're in Jennifer Lee's downline, and she has 3-day challenges every single week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every week. So literally just add people to those challenges, encourage them throughout those 3 days, and follow up with them throughout those 3 days. You don't have to be the one to do a 3-day challenge every single week. You don't have to be the one to do a business opportunity event every single week. We have those already. We have those through corporate. We have calls and Zooms and events with Laura and Donna Lee's team for the products. And so don't try to reinvent the wheel. Invite people to those things. Say 3-day challenges aren't what's working. Okay, so let's try something else if it's not working for you. And just because they're working for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. We're all different. Our networks are different. So don't get discouraged if you're like, man, Haley is getting 20 people to do 3-day challenge boxes and I can't give them away. That's Haley's network that's doing that. Your network may be more interested in the business, and getting them on the business opportunity calls is where you need to go. So try different things and don't get discouraged. If the same thing isn't working, then don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Send different types of messages, call people, meet up with people for lunch, do different things, because you're going to get burned out if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and it's not working. So we have to try something different. All right, so we're going to write our goals down in our planner, on the background on our phone, somewhere that you're going to see it every single day. And then one thing, I was actually watching a video earlier this morning and by Emily Gibson. And one thing that she said really hit me, and I loved this. She said, anytime that you're taking away from your family, be intentional with that time, because it's easy to get into work mode, aka scrolling and liking and commenting and all the things. It's easy to do that. And we're not being intentional with our time. It's easy to get caught up in this web with people who are negative, and even team members sometimes that are negative. You guys, my team knows, like, I don't have time for that. I just don't. If you're going to be negative, you're going to do it by yourself. Like, you're not going to bring me down and you're not going to bring the rest of the team down. Like, get yourself together, listen to a podcast. Yeah, exactly. Peace out, like Haley said. And so I don't do negativity. And that's something that I'm not going to take time away from, hanging out with my kids to hear you complain. Like, I'm just not going to do that. So pick and choose what you spend time with. One thing that I really have been focusing on the last couple months is your top 10% of your people, like the people who are showing up on calls, the people who are doing the work, the people who are enrolling the people. Those are the people who you're going to spend your one-on-one time with. Everybody else, as mean as this sounds, gets group time. Like, they're going to be in a group chat. They're going to be put in a group together. They're going to be on a group Zoom together. They're going to be in that group time. But the people who are producing and that are showing up, not just saying they want it, but actually showing up, those are the people who deserve your one-on-one time and the people who deserve your energy. And it's so important for you to protect your time, especially as you grow. And I used to think that was mean. This was something Donnelly used to tell me all the time. And I was like, I just love all the people and I don't want to show people that I don't believe in them. And, that honestly is not protecting your time and your space and your goals and your effort. And what's important is your time freedom, because I see people that they're like, man, network marketing just takes so much time. I can't do this. And you know what? That's their choice. It's their choice to be wasting so much time on things that are not really relevant to their growth. And so pick and choose the things and the people that you spend your time with and protect your energy. So just to recap, don't reinvent the wheel. Use the resources that are already there. If 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and something isn't working, let's try to get with your leader and say, hey, these messages that I'm sending aren't working. Can you look at this and let me know what I could do differently? And you guys, if you're not sending messages, then don't come complaining to me or Tiffany or anybody else that you're not enrolling people. Like, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, who are you talking to? How are you talking to them? What kind of conversations are you having? And you're like, well, I'm actually not. Or my favorite is, I have people say, well, I'm kind of busy right now. Let me get back to you and send you some screenshots in a little bit. And they never do. Like, I know that they're not doing the work. And so if you're not doing the work, then you don't have a right to complain about you not enrolling. You don't have the right to complain about your team not enrolling, and you don't have the right to complain about your paycheck going down. So that's just kind of my little tidbit. Does anybody have anything to add, any questions to ask, or anything like that? No questions? Okay. So I'm excited about this. I hope that you guys found this valuable, and that you have learned how to plan a little bit better for your goals and for your team goals. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's goals. If you are in our accountability group, I'm excited to see how you've mapped your goals and what your team goals are going to look like. And I'm excited to just like know where our people are going to come from and how we're going to do this, and create a game plan to adding 100 people, not just saying we're going to add 100 people. So super excited for this. Thank you guys. And if y'all have any questions, let me know. This was recorded, so I'll make sure and get y'all the recording as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.